यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ओम ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। My best wishes and Paripurna Ashirvadam. May the Almighty Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of Saubhagyams, Lakshmi Katakshams and Purna Aishwaryam to you and your entire family members and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, verse number 9. श्री भगवान उवाच जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन। Bhagavan Krishna, just he said, the person who understands the secret of my birth and the karma, he liberates from his birth and his karma. Now you have to point here, Bhagavan Krishna is now discussing about the death. So when you discuss about the death, that in the Brahma Vidya in the 2nd chapter, now he is not talking about the death. So death is divineful already. So we have to accept death as the divineful, and birth also is very divineful, and karma is also a divineful. He says that digging, inquiring about the secret of the birth of all avatars helps you to get rid from your bondage. It was told in the last session itself, isn't it? Now, why should I analyze about the secret of the birth of Rama, birth of Krishna, birth of Buddha? So this, what lies behind? So they had their own parents, the parents had their own circumstances, that circumstances made him to be born. So what is the big deal in it? Again you have to study Bhagavata, you have to study Mahabharata, you have to study Ramayana. So all this, it looks like stories, but they are not stories. When you study with a proper attitude, with the help of a person who is well versed in Purana. Purana is the messenger of all aspects in our life. So when you discuss about Krishna's birth, so Krishna's birth was in the context of Mahabharata, or it is Bhagavata. So parents who were, waiting for his son or daughter, so that the history itself, it gives a situation in which adharma was overwhelmed the creation. As well as the same is to Rama. So Rama was the first son of Dasharatha, who was the king, who was the Samrat, but not having child. So when he was not having the child, he was craving for that. He did Putra Kameshti Yaga, that fire ritual made Rama to be born. Now when you do tapas, when you do puja for the children, definitely you will get a child which is divineful. That's the birth secret, the secret from the normal phenomenon to be understood. When we were born, so we were born as the sankalpa of our parents. Then when they might have thought, okay, let us have a child, that sankalpa is the first garbha, that has to be understood by us. Then that sankalpa which is connected with our sankalpa, so while leaving the body in the last birth, we would have wished for certain condition, certain circumstance, environment, So certain environment, for that we were craved for. The death is connected with the birth. Now, so the birth which is not connected with the death is known as a divine birth. You know, you have to understand the birth which is not connected with the death. Death means it's a continuity. So you are carrying your wishes, you are carrying with all your karma pala, whether it is punya or papa. So you are carrying to be born as a new person. You are getting new body. Through that new body, you could enjoy the same karma phala and you can continue with that. But divine birth which doesn't have connectivity with the death last time. Krishna had no connected with his last birth because there was no last birth. It was incarnation. That is considered as an incarnation. Swamiji, it's too much because it doesn't have even a simple logic. It doesn't have even the logic which is said as a Tarka Shastra. No, my dear, when you analyze about your birth, so you can analyze about your forefathers, your father, or you can just ask the parents that what did you think before my birth, what kind of thought that you had, what kind of son you were expecting, am I correlating with that? You just inquire about your forefathers, your grandfathers and great grandfathers, great grandfathers. You think and analyze about your birth. You also can feel the difference between you and Lord Krishna. But once you realize the fact of the secret of the birth, so everything is nothing but sankalpa. Sankalpa brings the physical body. So when you have the sankalpa, I should have a very good son or daughter, you will definitely get it. In the same way, the sankalpa makes everything. Therefore, yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagnidagdha karmanam tamahuh panditam buddhaha. So Krishna says very clearly, sankalpa is everything. The birth is because of sankalpa. That sankalpa brings everything. But here, the Krishna's birth was not his sankalpa, the sankalpa from all the normal people who craved for a divine incarnation, avatara, I suppose. So that avatara who is waiting to get dharma re-established. In the same way, in the Rama's birth also. So when you analyze about your birth and when you come to know the secret, the glory of the birth of all the incarnations, so you can also conquer your death. Once you conquer your death, you may lose the body if you wish. I say again, if you wish to have one more janma, definitely you will have the janma. That's what Jivan Mukta Lakshanam, the liberated one. If you wish means it's not for the sake of your selfishness, that as the selfless person, if you have the desire to take something to be done in the society, I have to establish dharma, it depends on parecha prarabdha. It is not in your hand. It is known as Ishvara Sankalpa. If you got the Sankalpa, definitely doesn't matter how many births janma you can make yourself, because you gain the capacity. That's what the secret is. When you realize about the secret of birth of Lord Krishna, you will have glorious divineful birth, and divineful birth will be endowed with the divineful karma which doesn't produce punya papa, so that you could affect by that. No. Now this analyzing about the secret of birth and karma of divineful souls, not even about Lord Krishna and Rama and so many extra, these are all people. We can also analyze about Rishi's life. That Rishi's life also, the who has become as a jnani, like Lord Buddha, who is considered like a jnani, Ramana Maharishi, so many rishis. Even right now we have lots of rishis. So you can analyze, you could see that though they were taken birth as the human being, but they have converted their life into divine full enough. They may have the birth. So why not? Why can't? See, when you hate something, you are attracted by that. When you are fond of something, at that time also you are attracted by that. So now the person, one who has understood the glory of the birth and karma of the Ishvara, Ishvara means incarnation, they won't get rebirth. Rebirth means they won't get the rebirth as a slave. If they wish, they will get. And the wish also for the sake of the welfare of the universe, that would be the secret of his birth. Therefore he says, Deham, here says, Deham tyaktva punaha janma na yeti. He won't attain again a body, then where will he go? Mam eti, saha mameva eti Arjuna. He reaches me. He reaches me means now Krishna is talking as the conscious, which is the supermost supreme consciousness. That, when this is the language. This is when we went to Rishikesh, the climate was horrible. The climate was not permitting us to go outside. It was like burning. So I even spoke with the climate. The climate, it listened the next day. It was beautiful climate again provided by the nature. So now the language is, I am fixing the climate as though some person that, so I could communicate with that. In the same way, he is taken, I am everything, that is the understanding. If I am everything, people reach me, people reach Brahman, people become Brahma. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati, Upanishad Vakyam. So the knower of Brahman, he becomes Brahman. So when you realize nothing but the all-pervasive Brahman, so you yourself will say that I am nothing but all-pervasive Brahman. So though you should not speak it outside. So when you speak outside, you make limited. Therefore, once you realized, you keep with yourself. You need not to tell about your all secret to the world, because world won't understand. When you convert into a Shabda, then it loses the glory. Just keep inside. The next words also, he continues in the same way. So when people become the Moksha Purushaha, so what happens with them? How they get? So what changes makes them to achieve you? What kind of the changes it is visible to understand is explained in the next words. Let us read it. वीतराग भय क्रोधाः मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः बहवो ज्ञान तपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः. The great difference you can find from them, their actions are purified. Now our actions are not purified, because usually, so we work, we perform the karma which is driven by fear, anger and likes and dislikes. So you can see those actions which are performed from the jnani, so not having the driving force, all this fear, anger, likes and dislikes, etc. Can you imagine, can you think some karma which is not backed by fear, anger and likes and dislikes? That's what the magic is. When a jnani, he works not as a slave, he works as a sutantra purushaha. Vita raga bhaya krodhaha. So you have to be very careful. See this Vita Bhayaha. Vita means so which has gone. Got rid of fears, very big thing. Nobody can get rid of fear. The death fear always lies inside. So once you get tapas, jnana tapasa, by the knowledge of Brahman, by the knowledge of the secret of the birth of Ishvara. So when you analyze, that is known as jnana tapas. Tapas means it's a disciplined life. Disciplined life so that you can purify, you can burn your bad, evil fruits. Jnana tapasa putaha. Not few people, many people have attained me. So once you realize about the secret of my birth, so you will be also purified. Your fear will go away. You will become fearless person. You imagine about yourself, people worship even driven by the fear, but Jnani will worship without fear. So where there is no fear, what kind of prayers it would be? That's what Bhadram Karne Bhishrunuyama Devaha. Ho Devaha Bhadram Pashyama. Just we see, we pursue means we have the perception of Mangalam, auspicious. The prayer which is not involved with craving. So craving, longing, fearful, no. You see all the poems, all the Upanishad shloka, so that which is called Shanti Mantra, even all the Shanti Mantras, you cannot see that they are longing, oh deity, please give me that and give me this, I am terrified by the word. No. It is like a Shanti Mantra which is unfolded as a Shanti, unfolded with lots of peace of the mind. That is what the glory. So bhakti, so first you begin as craving from him, then you understand yourself, you rise yourself up to the Bhagavan, then you will have the bhakti, the parinama, that improvement of your maturity level makes you fearless, angerless. So when there is no fear, so you may not have likes and dislikes. The fear makes likes and dislikes. So these likes and dislikes are big enemy, as we saw in the last session itself. Last chapter he said, Kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhavaha. These people who has come across all this, who has found themselves beyond likes and dislikes. These likes and dislikes, when you are attracted by something, you are slave. That object is driving you. For example, Yajnavalkya was the Rishi. Okay, so he was a great Rishi and scholar enough, and so many people was defeated by him. He was renowned as a king himself. So he had two wives, life partner. After certain age, he wanted to give up everything to go to Himalaya. So just he wanted to pursue Vanaprastha ashrama. Already he was Rishi, but Vanaprastha ashrama. Maybe he might have had to take sannyasa in his life. He divided all the assets, wealth, whatever he had, because he had a huge, it was said that 1 lakh cow he had. So in those days, cows were the big assets, because from the cow we get milk, dahi, chaach, and not only that, we will get also ghee, which was the main for yaga, yajna, homa, karma, khanda. He divided the whole thing, and he invited both wife, and he said that I have divided 50-50. So for both of you, you just carry on your life. So usually in our family also, we might have seen that when grandfather dies, all assets are divided into two. So one, he keeps all the 50% for his wife, and 50% he divides with the children. In the same way, he says that now I have divided, please take care and carry on life as your own. Katyayani accept, okay, this is very good. So I think he has got some extra vairagya, he is going away. But Maitreyi, said, you are not an idiot. Because I could see that from the life when I came first time. You think elaborately and intelligently. Now you are living these great assets. It means you are having or you are going to have greater than this. What is that? So if at all you have hatred because you liked all the assets, therefore you kept it, now you started hating or what? If you are hating, if you have the hatred in your mind, you are victimized by raga dvesha. So what happened to you? So please clarify so that I could also be with you. I could also get the greater things with you. Then the Yajnavalkya started saying the secret of the life, the secret of the likes and dislikes. Then he cleared her. I'm not living so because that I heard these objects, these assets. I don't like them, I don't hate them. I'm in the middle. So I'm not attracted by likes, I'm not attracted by the dislikes. When you are attracted by the likes, so then also you are slave. When you are distracted, so if you feel something could distract you, something could disturb you, something could smash you, then also you are not a free person. You have to be purified enough. You have to keep yourself away from likes and dislikes. That's what Bhita Raga Bhaya Krodhaha. Then he said, Areva Maitreyi, so Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. The portion which is known as Maitreyi Brahmanam, it talks very elaborately the basic fundamental norms of human mind. Not only human mind, the psychological system of all the beings. It's a very glorified text. You have to study it. Everything is selfishness. Atmanastu Kamaya. You desire, therefore you get married. It's not that you are going to provide life for others. No, you desire. So you like, therefore you get the children. So you like to nourish them, therefore you are doing it. Accept it. Because you have the selfishness. Now slowly you have to understand, you have to convert your selfishness as the selflessness. That is the understanding by this. Vita Raga Bhaya Krodhaha. When you understand the secret of Krishna's birth, definitely you will become away from Raga Bhaya Dosha. They will lose their power to fluctuate you, deviate you, distract you. You will become a free bird. Then whatever the thought takes place in you, it won't have the force in order to shake you. You will select, you will reject. That's all. That's the jnani state. That's what he has said. He won't get angry. If at all he gets the angry, it is for the sake of welfare of the world. And manmayaha, they are observed in me. So they're thinking always about me. Ananyas chintayanto maham ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Not having a single worry. Single bit of worry, no. Manmaya, I am occupied in their mind. So my thought is occupied in their mind. They always surrender. They always observed in me. Their thought pattern completely it belongs to me. Mam upashritaha, always they worship me. So by worshipping me, by observing me, by depending on me, by analyzing the secret of my birth, they become pure person, free from raga, free from dvesha, free from bhaya means fear, free from anger. Then what? Madbhavam agataha. They have become my bhava alone. My bhava means Ishwaratvam alone. That is the prayojana, benefit by learning the secret of my birth, he says. Therefore, we have to understand analysis of the birth and karma makes pure. Whether if you are not wishing to analyze the secret of birth, the Krishna's birth, you can analyze your birth with the help of Shastra. That will also help you to come out of your raga, dvesha, bhaya, krodha. Next words, let us read. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tanstathaiva bhajamyaham mama vatmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashah. Now Arjuna's mind is asking a question, but though he has not put in front of the Krishna, Krishna could understand, okay, this may be the doubt. The people who are not surrendering to you, you said manmayaha, mam upashritaha, people who are not worshipping you, people who have not conquered the raga, dvesha, bhaya, krodha, then what will be the sthiti? What will be the benefit they will get in their life? Then he says, no, worship has its own benefit. Whether they are not worshipping me, they may worship somebody else. But whatever the form, they may select me as a Krishna, Rama, or as a Mahavishnu, or as a Lord Maheshwaraha, Parvati, Ganapati, Kartikeya, so Surya. So whatever the way, whichever the form they want to worship, let them worship. Finally, they only reach me. Therefore, I don't have the difference. If they have the difference, their mind is endowed with duality. That duality also makes them to reach me. Don't worry. Means we should have the clarity. When you study about Bhagavad Gita, you should know the destination. You should know how to reach the destination. And also you should know the people who are not in the path, who are deviated, and where do they reach. Just not to worry, not to have pity on them, just to realize the proper path, what it is. That's what we will continue this verse in the next session tomorrow. Harihi Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.